Hey guys, so far what have we achieved in Phaser? Okay, let's show you guys the code. So far what we've achieved is we can move the plane up, down, left, right. Okay, we can press space to spawn some bullets onto the screen, but they don't move. And if I touch the enemy, I will disappear. So we want to talk about how to get the bullets to move. And it's going to occur within the fire function. So let's scroll down to that. The fire function, so far all I have is that I'm spawning the bullets where the player is. Okay, now I want to talk about how to fire it. So to fire it, I'm basically going to set the velocity of the bullet. So I'm going to go game.physics. Where is my game.physics .arcade .velocity from angle. And basically this will allow us to set the velocity of the bullet, the speed of the bullet, using an angle. So what angle are we going to use? Well, we're going to use the player's angle, wherever our player is facing, player.angle. And now we want the speed of the bullet in pixels per second towards that angle. So let's say we want it at 300 pixels per second. And we're going to set the velocity of our bullet. So bullet.body.velocity. Okay, so if we run this now, okay, if I run this now, what happens? I can press space and it'll shoot in the direction of where I'm facing, which is great, but I'm shooting way too many bullets at once, right? In fact, this number tells you how many bullets I'm shooting. So I've just shot 9 bullets or 5 bullets by barely holding down the spacebar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control how many bullets I can shoot. So I'm going to create 2 variables. Okay, I'm going to create 2 variables. I'm going to put them just before the create function. So I'm going to call these variables fire rate, and I'm going to set it to let's say 100 milliseconds. So basically that is the time between each bullet being fired. And I'm going to set another variable called next fire time, and that represents when I'm allowed to fire the bullet next. Okay, how many seconds? Actually, let's type that in a comment. So the fire rate is the time in milliseconds between each bullet fired. And the next fire time is the time in milliseconds since the start of the game when the next bullet is allowed to be fired. So the first bullet is allowed to be fired at time of 0. And now let's go back down to the fire function. Okay, let's go back down to the fire function, and what we're going to put in here is that instead of allowing a new bullet to be created straight away when we press the spacebar, I'm going to put in an if statement, and I'm going to only allow a new bullet to be created if the game time right now is bigger than the next fire time. Okay, let me just check that I spelled that correctly. So next fire time, yep. So if game.time.now is bigger than next fire time, which it will be, because as soon as we start the game time is going to increase, and the next fire time is 0 right now. So it's going to be bigger, so it's going to do all this straight away. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the next fire time variable to equal the current game time plus the fire rate. Okay, plus the fire rate. So what this is saying is that the next time that I press space, it's going to check that the time is bigger than next fire time before I'm allowed to fire it again. So I'll put a comment here. Increase next fire time variable to when another bullet is allowed to be fired. Okay, so since I've just created another if statement, I'll have to close the bracket here, close the if statement. So now if I press F12 and run the game, you can see that if I press space, it's now firing at a very controlled pace. Okay, it's firing at a very controlled pace. It's not gonna fire 800 bullets at once. Okay, so that's it so far for this tutorial. See you guys next time.